Alrighty, today we will be creating the Save the Date metallic Volvelles. I'm really excited about this one. Heads up, this step-by-step tutorial video is actually for those who've already purchased the template from me. So if you don't have the template, you will not be able to create this. So go to kitchencricut.com and get your template and then come back here. After purchasing the templates, you'll receive an email where you can download the SVG file and the PDF. Now remember where you put those so it's easy to find them a little later. And then go ahead and open the PDF. Most of our information will be in this guy. Your project starts here. This is your list of supplies. These are all needed in order to create this project. You're welcome to click on Shop My Bendables list where you can shop everything I used for this project. The debossing tip is absolutely needed. You will not create the project without it. And then this is the metallic silver cardstock that I used. I tested a ton of paper and that was the best one. Make sure to add that to your cart. The next page in the PDF, you can click on any of these graphics or any of these images and it'll take you directly to Amazon where you can add any of them directly to your cart. Again, just trying to make this as easy as possible. This is the metallic paper. Definitely have to get that one. It's the best one. All right, to the designing part. Open Canva template. This is where you are going to create your wheel. This is where you'll put all of the information. You can put information or you can put images, whichever you prefer. But this is where we will be designing the images for our wheel. This is information for when you download these images and the settings that need to happen, but I will chat with you about that here directly as well. So the first oval is an image. You can drag and drop an image. If you need to resize it, you just double click it, or you can skip the images altogether and just design the oval, the plain oval. You can change the color of that if you want to. You can add text. You can write your names. You can write your wedding date, whatever information that you're needing to provide. This is where you really customize your Volvelle by creating the information that will go on your wheel. So feel free to do whatever you want with this one. Just make sure that you're creating 4. You will need 4 images or 4 ovals with information to put on top of our wheel. Tap your phone here to view our wedding website. That's coming soon. I'm going to drop a tutorial on how to use NFC tags to make your invitation wedding suites really seamless and easy, and people just tap their phone and it goes straight to your website. Once all 4 of your ovals are ready, we're going to go ahead and download them. Make sure that you're downloading these as PNG files, not a JPEG, not an SVG file. Make sure it's a PNG file. And the other important thing to remember is make sure it has a transparent background. That little box needs to be checked. Lastly, make sure that you are downloading all 4 of your ovals. These will be what we put on the wheel when we import them into Cricut Design Space. Once you download these, let them download. Remember where you keep them so they're easy to find, and then we will open Cricut Design Space. Once in Cricut Design Space, we will create a new design, upload our image, and we need to find the SVG file that we downloaded earlier. We will upload that image, continue, upload, and we are ready to edit the SVG file. Everything is grouped over here in the layers panel. Starting off strong with my copyright. Please don't steal my stuff. That would be greatly appreciated. You can either delete this or hide it, whichever you prefer. I would just delete it, stay organized. Next up is going to be our score lines. Right now they are titled as basic cuts, so make sure to change all 3 of those lines from basic cuts to score. We want to make sure Cricut knows those need to be scored and folded. Next we have the save the date, the actual letters. So right now those are also as basic cuts and we need to change those to deboss. Once that's done, we can close that and go on to the next layer, which is going to be our basic cuts. Those can remain basic cuts. Those are the holes that will be cut out at the end. And finally, the overall basic cut. So we want to select all 4 of these images. These 4 are related to the overall cover, and make sure that we are keeping those as an attachment. We want those to stay separated from the wheel. Now I added this temporary title or this verbiage. It says top. It's really only there to show you where the top of your image needs to be. So when you rotate the wheel, your images are right side up. We will delete those a little later before we print, but for now we'll leave them so we avoid confusion. Now, we need to upload the 4 oval images that we edited on Canva earlier, and we need to put them into Cricut Design Space. So once you find those and drag and drop, we will then push continue. We already made sure that it had a transparent background, so apply and continue. We are going to be doing a flat graphic. We do not need multiple layers. Flat graphic for sure all the way for every image that we upload. Flat graphic. Now, when this first uploads, you're going to see an exclamation mark in the corner because I downloaded these as such a high file. I prefer to do it that way so that I could resize in Cricut Design Space. That way I know it's high resolution and it'll be crisp, but that exclamation mark will disappear as you resize it, just in case you see that and kind of freak out like I did when I first saw it. All right, you're gonna do this exact same thing for all 4 of the pictures or 4 of the ovals that we will be incorporating onto our wheel. And once we have our 4 images ready to go, we are going to change the background color to an obnoxious, loud color. Why? Because when we drag and drop our pictures onto the wheel, we want to make sure that we are resizing appropriately, and if there's any areas that remain, we will be able to see them a little easier when the color is obnoxious like this red color. Take this little sliver for example. If we leave it like that, Cricut is going to cut that little sliver out, and we want to avoid that. That's a no-no. Once we placed it where we want it, we're going to grab that image and we're going to drag it all the way down to underneath the wheel. That looks good. I don't see any red. Now on to the next one, and keep in mind to pay attention to the top verbiage so that when you are rotating your images, the images will be right side up when you're actually rotating the wheel. So the next image will be upside down, and then the image on top is going to be the opposite of this one. So just kind of keep in mind when you're placing each of these ovals, they need to be top side up so that they're right side up. So when we rotate the wheel, everything is the way that it needs to be. Once all 4 images are placed nicely with our wheel, we can change the background color back to a normal, not obnoxious color. And our layers panel over here, things are looking a little messy, so let's make sure that we have all of our images directly underneath the basic cut. And before we flatten these, I do want to mention if you want to change the color of your wheel, you're more than welcome to. I usually like it white. I'm going to try gray for this one, but you can literally make the wheel any color, and when it prints, it'll be printed in that color. So again, if you want to change the color, cool. If not, you can leave it at gray. Moving on, we're going to select all of those, so the basic cut, wheel, as well as the images, and hit flatten. Now we can either remove or erase the top portion, the verbiage. We do not want that printed on there, so go ahead and erase that. And we're left with attach and flatten, and then make. Now before we send this to the printer, we need to change the material size to the standard letter size. We're just printing on regular letter paper, and then do the same thing for the cover as well that we'll be doing later. We'll start with the print then cut, but change both sizes now. And continue. Send to printer. Next. All right. We do not need to add bleed, but we should be using system dialog every time, to be honest. That just assures when we print through Cricut Design Space, we are printing through our normal printer settings. That way we can choose which paper we're using. If we want to make sure that our printer is printing at its highest quality, we can change from standard to high. This is just a good way to make sure that your images are coming out really crisp and great. I use this every single time I do print and cut. It is Cricut 101. Make sure that you are always using system dialog. And print. Once our wheel is printed, we'll get our light grip mat and make sure that the arrow in the upper left corner is facing up. Use our brayer tool. I don't know why that thing is so nice, but it really does make a difference. For this one, I'll be using medium cardstock and leaving my pressure as default. Then you're going to prep your fine point blade, and this is going to be the only tool that we need for this portion of the project. Reminder that it's going to take your Cricut a minute to read the print then cut lines, and then as soon as that's done, it'll pretty quickly cut the actual wheel out. Now, when we actually take off the wheel from the light grip mat, this is just Cricut 101, we don't want to pull it too strongly. We want to avoid any extra curves. So really take your time peeling away the mat from the paper versus peeling the paper away from the mat. Now we're going to focus on our cover. So we'll prep our metallic paper onto our light grip mat. Again, the brayer works magic. Make sure that you are using that to completely flatten the paper so it cuts nicely. And then when we go back to Cricut Design Space, we'll choose medium cardstock. And then we need to prep our single scoring wheel. So I have the quick swap tips. So I have the deboss tip, which is this one, in my housing. I think they call this a house. And you just push the button on top and it releases it. And then this is the score tip. And it says 01 on it in case you're confused. But click this little button on the top and it releases or locks it. So now it's like sturdy, but it'll come off again when you click that little button. But I have the score tool that way, the score tip, as well as the deboss tip that we'll need to be using next. So keep that nearby. When that's finished, Cricut Design Studio will tell you that we need the deboss tool next. So it even told you that to look for the number 21, that's the number on the actual deboss tip. So press the button on top of the housing unit, release the score portion or the score tip, and put on the deboss tip. And then put that right back in to the maker, and it will start to deboss. Once the Cricut machine is completed with the deboss, it'll tell you that it needs the fine point blade so that it can actually cut out the shape, and then from there we can start the assembly. So first the scoring tool, then the deboss tool, and then the fine blade tool. Just a friendly reminder that we do not want to just peel the paper off of the mat. We want to flip it upside down and carefully, without curving the paper too much, peel the mat away from the paper. Alright, so I do want to take a little bit of time to chat about grommets, the little mechanism or the device that you have to put in the middle of our Volvelle to make sure that it spins. This is a paper fastener, or they call a mini brad or a brad. These are a little bit more affordable, but they are a little bit thicker. So if you plan on mailing these, I would not use the paper fastener. They do come in colors that match. So if you're just making this for fun, or if you're just making one, you could totally get away with the more cost-effective mini brad, aka paper fasteners. But I prefer the grommets, which sometimes people call eyelets. An eyelet technically is just one of these by itself, but a grommet is two. So it's this one in my hand right here, the little silver guy, as well as the washer, which is that one. So because there's two pieces that we will be tacking together, it is a grommet set. So sometimes people call them eyelets, that's fine. But again, if you're wanting to mail these, I would do this route, the grommet, because it's thinner. It won't leave a marking as much. It's also a little bit more durable, whereas the paper fastener or the mini brad is a little thicker. It'll dent the surrounding mail, and it's just not as nice in my opinion. So again, I am team grommet, but feel free to make your own decision based off of the details of your project. Next, we're going to fold our cover. The Cricut machine had already scored everything, so it should be pretty easy to fold. You're more than welcome to use a scoring tool. I do like to get my folds really nice and crisp, so I do like to use that, but it's not necessary. But as soon as we're done folding, we are going to be taping the top and the bottom of the Volvelle to create that pocket. And then we're going to insert our wheel and make sure that the holes in the center are pretty lined up so that when we enter the grommet, it fits nicely. And we want to make sure that the grommet sticks out all the way through the back. Now I'm going to grab my crop a dial tool. Reminder, this is listed on the PDF through my Bendables list, as well as straight on my Amazon. At the top here, if you pull this little lever, it's the sizes for the hole punch. We don't need that since the Cricut already cut our hole, but just a heads up, if you did need it, it has it. So those first two on the corner are going to be the hole punch. The one on the end is the one that we will be using to actually smash our grommet into the washer and create our Volvelle. So just a heads up too, if you pull down this top lever and you move it from side to side, there's different sizes and different options available. There's little letters in the corner though, so make sure that you find the one that says C. We need the one that is C, and then you push it back up for it to lock in. Same thing for the bottom. If you move it, it's all different sizes. We need the one that says 3. So look for the number and it'll have the number 3. So 3C. Once that is ready, we are going to place our washer on the bottom, the one that is numbered 3. Then our Volvelle, which already has the grommet inside of it, peeking through the back, that's important. We're going to put into the device, and we'll need to make sure that we line up the hole or the grommet hole perfectly with the top portion, that letter C. And it's going to squish down into that washer and create a little lock mechanism. So when things are lined up and you're ready to press down, do not press too hard. If you press too hard, then it's going to get too tight and it will not spin smoothly. It'll be too difficult. So if you're already done and your wheel is not spinning nicely, then I think you did it a little too hard. I don't think that'll happen very much. You'd have to like use all of your body weight. But yeah, just like a light little press down on it to create the locking mechanism, and then your wheel should be turning easily. And that's it. I hope that you really love your Volvelle. I would love to see it. If you want to tag me or send me a picture of it, that would be cool. Thanks for trusting the process.